Hi, I'm Sophia Song, Head of Research at StreetEasy. We've just released our fourth quarter market report, and we're here today to talk about luxury rentals with Nancy Pax, a local real estate authority and consultant to some of the city's most prominent residential real estate developers. Thank you so much for joining us, Nancy. We're excited to talk to you about the luxury rental market and the new trends that we're seeing. We've seen a surge in building and activity for luxury rentals. And it's a relatively new phenomenon in the New York City real estate marketplace. What do you think is driving this trend?
I think it was the fortuitous result of the end of the last cycle. There were always luxury rentals. They were typically in condominiums. So developers began to observe that there was demand. No one quite understood exactly how much demand there was at the very top of the market for larger units, particularly 3 and 4 bedroom homes, but it was clear that the demand was there.
Do you think luxury rentals were always planned anyway?
No, I very definitely think that with respect to 8 Spruce Street, it was realizing the opportunity to build and hold a building. Again, a lot of development thinking is about the risk in the condominium development process. Developers much prefer to build buildings that they can continue to own and possibly sell for very good returns at some point. So I think the decision to produce luxury rentals, really high-end rentals, is the product of the decline in the last sales cycle, the cost of land in Manhattan, and then there's another factor operating as well: concentration of wealth. Foreigners want to be here to live in second and third residences and also to make investments. So you have the demand, and it's a very secure investment and development from the point of view of the owner of the building.
So, what can a consumer expect to see in a luxury rental?
Often, the amenities that are offered are more extensive in terms of sheer size and variety because the buildings are larger, and the developer can afford to give these generous amenities programs, which they can't quite do with smaller condominium developments. The finishes have become virtually identical to condominium finishes, and the new crop of rental buildings are almost all being designed by starchitects, really world-class architects designing the outside of the building and sometimes the insides as well. The only respects in which these buildings really differ, that is the condominium and the rental, is the size of the units. And I think you need to say two things about that. Condominiums are measured differently from rentals, so what is indicated as square footage is much larger than the way a rental developer measures square footage, maybe by 8 to 10%. Still, condominiums are larger, but the person who chooses to live in a luxury rental building isn't making the commitment of a very substantial sum of money, so they accept the trade-off of slightly smaller spaces, having everything else that they would get in a condominium.
Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check back for more insight on local real estate from Nancy Pax in our Real Estate FAQ series.